The grand ballroom at the Brookfield Riverside Hotel shimmered under the soft glow of 1,000 white candles. Each flame flickered like a quiet promise, representing donations, lives touched, healing. Or so the glossy program claimed. I stood near the memorial table, my heart pounding in a steady, controlled rhythm I'd perfected over years in compliance work. My name is Elena Harper, 34 years old, compliance and internal investigations specialist at Brookfield Children's Hospital. I dig through documents, follow money trails, make sure things add up. Tonight, nothing was adding up. The air smelled of expensive cologne, fresh lilies, and underlying tension. Victor Langford, my stepfather, worked the room in his perfectly tailored charcoal suit, shaking hands, accepting praise for another flawless night of Candles Gala.
His baby.
The Brookfield Arts and Wellness Foundation's flagship event. Co-chaired with Margaret Winslow, the old money philanthropist whose family name opened every important door in central Ohio. Victor smiled that polished smile that never quite reached his eyes. The same smile he'd worn at my mother's funeral. I waited until Victor took the podium. His voice boomed through the microphone, transforming grief into grace, loss into legacy. The crowd leaned in. Marcus, my stepbrother, filmed from the front row for social media. That was my moment. I moved to the memorial table. Candles arranged alphabetically. There it was. Third row. Pristine white pillar. Yellow label in elegant script. Elena Harper Endowment. $2,300,000. My hands stayed steady. Hospital compliance teaches you calm when you find the smoking gun. I pulled out my lighter, the one I'd carried deliberately, and touched the flame to the wick. It caught instantly. The numbers danced in the firelight. What are you doing? Victor's voice sliced through the room. He'd abandoned the podium mid-speech. The mic stayed live, echoing his last words about honoring the lost. He was right behind me. Lighting a candle for Mom, I said, loud enough for heads to turn. Isn't that what donors do? His face cycled through red, then pale. Put it out.
Why?
It has my name on it. Elena Harper. 2.3 million. Don't I get to celebrate that? He grabbed for the candle. I pulled back. His hand clamped my wrist instead. Then the shove, hard, deliberate, his palm slamming my shoulder. I stumbled backward into the table. Candles wobbled. A collective gasp rippled through the elite crowd. Cameras clicked. Phones rose. Event photographers captured every frame. Don't you dare open your mouth about that number, he hissed. Bourbon on his breath. Security arrived. Two broad-shouldered men in dark suits hesitated between us. Victor straightened his tie, smile snapping back into place. My stepdaughter is overwhelmed. The memorial service tomorrow. Perhaps some air. But I held on my phone. Photo already captured, label crisp. Every digit clear. I pressed record. This is a misunderstanding, Victor told Margaret, who'd rushed over. A clerical error with the labels. You know how emotional family situations can be. Emotional? I kept my voice professional. Steady. I'm curious about a financial discrepancy. That's all. Security backed off. Lawsuit territory. Victor calculated. Stepped back with paternal concern. Of course we'll discuss this privately after the event. I nodded, pocketed the phone, and walked out on my own terms. Behind me, Victor spun the interruption into a tale of passionate donor families. But I had it, the photo, the recording, his shove witnessed by Riverton's elite, captured on dozens of devices. The bruise already forming on my shoulder would fade, but not the evidence. In my car, I stared at the photo again. $2,300,000. Mom's money. My inheritance. The Evelyn No. Sophia Harper Family Trust. Victor had become sole trustee after her death in 2018. For protection, he'd said with that cold smile. Home had always felt divided. The house on Maple Grove Drive in Brookfield. Mom's house originally. After she married Victor, invisible lines appeared at every meal. Marcus got the bay window bedroom. The new car at 16. The proud shoulder claps. I got the converted study and reminders to be grateful. Victor spread blueprints across the dinner table, talking projected returns while Mom's thin fingers once traced trust documents for me. This is for you, sweetheart. So you'll never depend on anyone. But Victor gained discretionary power. I moved out at 18, worked through college, built my career investigating financial irregularities at the hospital. The divorce last year was messy, but I handled it quietly. Professional detachment served me well. Until the foundation's donor report listed the Elena Harper Endowment. I never authorized it. Never signed anything. That gut instinct, the compliance radar that never switched off, screamed fraud. Tomorrow, I'd pull every public record. 990 forms, permits, contracts. If Victor used Mom's trust to fund his Langford Properties developments under charity cover, using my name, well, I was very good at my job. The next 72 hours blurred into spreadsheets and cold coffee. My dining table became a war room. Monitors glowed with IRS filings, property records, contractor invoices. The endowment appeared in 2019, 1 year after Mom died. $500,000 first, then more, totaling $2.3 million. Each donation aligned with infrastructure work at the Riverside Community Center, address matching land owned by Langford Properties, LLC. Contracts funneled restricted funds from my endowment straight to Evergreen Construction, a firm tied to Victor's past projects. Water lines, electrical upgrades, roads, all prepping his mixed-use Riverton Landing development. Laundering through a fake charity. Using my name as cover. Building his fortune on Mom's grave. The trust amendment, signed 3 months before her death. Her signature shaky from chemo. Witnessed by her oncologist. Now on the community center board.
Dr.
Marcus Fitzgerald. Classic manipulation of a vulnerable woman. A Facebook post from Marcus sealed it. Him and Victor at the construction site. Proud of Riverton Landing. Infrastructure funded by community benefit now served commercial development.
Fraud.
My shoulder ached purple-green from his shove, a palm print of evidence. But paper trails don't fade. I organized everything. Digital folders, cloud backups, printouts. In the morning, lawyers, AG's office, IRS. Tonight, one more search, Midwestern Capital Loan documents for Riverton Landing. Covenants required arm's-length transactions. Charity money wasn't arm's length. Banks hate lies about funding sources. I smiled, the first real one since the gala. Victor thought he built an empire on Mom's legacy. He built his own cage. Ava Mercer slid her card across the polished conference table. Most people think estate law is boring. They've never seen a trust turned into a personal piggy bank. I'd chosen her carefully, boutique firm. No ties to Victor's country club circle. Reputation for dismantling bigger opponents. Newspaper clippings on her walls showed multi-million recoveries from charity fraud. This is thorough, she said, scrolling my documentation. Hospital compliance background? Something like that. We dissected the amendment. Classic exploitation. Your mother was stage 4. We'll need witnesses on her mental state. Victor's patterns. I thought of Nora Vale, the gala coordinator who'd called post-incident. I wanted to check if you were okay. That was intense. Over coffee, she shared, Victor personally approved every donor label. Unusual. Board members didn't micromanage that. She had emails proving it. Ava noted contacts. Forensic accountant Daryl Knox joined pro bono after I mentioned nonprofit fraud. Textbook scheme. Restricted funds. Controlled both sides. Community benefit facade. Patricia Morse, Victor's former assistant, reached out after gala gossip. I left 2 years ago. Have files that were supposed to be shredded. Employment contracts. Board minutes. James Riverton, whose family donated the community center land, cornered me at the grocery. Grandfather intended actual community use, not commercial flip. City council ignores my calls.
Dr.
Fitzgerald's nurse. He wasn't fully conscious. Morphine increased. Victor said urgent tax issues. Allies accumulated. Each brought pieces, memories, documents.
Courage to speak.
Daryl's numbers uncovered more discrepancies. Nora's emails showed direct directives. Patricia revealed years of board manipulation. The AG's white-collar division expressed interest. Charity fraud with elderly victims and 7 figures? Always. Ava filed for emergency trust freeze. Stopped further transfers. My notice to Midwestern Capital triggered fiduciary duty to investigate. Lit a 90-day fuse on loan covenants. One more thing, gala photos of the shove. Multiple angles. Witnesses. Professional shots. Hotel lost security footage, but we subpoenaed. Battery charge pending. Pattern of intimidation. Victor called. I want to make things right. Family. Exhaustion in my voice. Maybe privately. He bid. Next board meeting Thursday. I prepared presentation. Ensuring donor intent. Boring title. Safe. Image of compliant stepdaughter. Thursday. Gray drizzle. Professional blazer. Boardroom dark wood. Oil portraits. Margaret air-kissed. We're all family here. 8 members watched as I clicked slides. Flowcharts of standard procedures. Then Foundation's innovative approach. Victor's central role approving lists. Directing funds. Emails redacted but recognizable. Board shifted. Who initiates restricted donations over $100,000? Bylaws required majority vote and written authorization. Silence when I asked about board approval for my endowment. No vote. Victor. As trustee, I had authority. So, you created a $2.3 million endowment in my name without consent. Directed funds to your development infrastructure? Ambush. Richard Torrance. Secretary. Typed furiously. Minutes captured every admission. I showed candle label photo. Either I consented or fraud. Board erupted. Margaret. We need all documentation immediately. Another. Discuss personal management practices. Victor stood. Ambush. Transparency, I replied. What Mom believed in. At the door, my lawyer will be in touch about that consent you definitely have. His face brick red. Fury and fear mixing. I left him explaining to his board how he'd gambled their reputation on stolen money and a stepdaughter's name. Friday, 7 a.m. Call from Midwestern Capital. Sandra Chun. Risk Management. We received your notice. Preliminary review shows infrastructure directly benefits Riverton Landing. Covenant violation. Related party transactions must be arm's length and disclosed. 10 days for Victor to prove legitimacy. Otherwise, default notice. Bridal Path Partners suspended $12.8 million commitment. Allegations of irregularities. Marcus called shrilly. You're destroying everything. Dad's on calls non-stop. Banks threatening. Investors pulling. Documenting. Big difference. Patricia texted. Victor in emergency lawyer meetings. Margaret won't take calls. Riverton Ledger. Questions arise about foundation donations. Connected dots publicly. AG's Thomas Bradley. Meet Monday with white-collar unit.
Dr.
Fitzgerald called. Voice tremulous. Your mother wasn't fully conscious. Morphine high. Victor pushed papers. Weighing on me. I'll testify. Trust amendment vulnerable. Post-death actions potentially fraudulent. My apartment felt lighter. Years carrying unwanted stepchild weight.
Now.
Threat to what he wanted. Victor's evening call. Name your price. Make it go away. Raw voice. Foundation returns full amount plus interest. Cut you in 20% profits. $8 million. Everything's about money? Family supports family. I'm supporting mom's real family. People her genuine charity helped. Not your schemes. Monday AG. Tuesday bank review. Wednesday board discusses your removal. Weekend to order affairs. I hung up. Rain outside. Warmth inside. First time since mom died. Tuesday afternoon foundation glass conference room. Fishbowl. Staff stealing glances. Victor at table end. 2 lawyers sweating under Armani. Foundation counsel uncomfortable. Margaret icy. Sandra Chun in person. Ava beside me. I placed white candle center. New label, Sophia Harper Memorial. No transfer authorized. Lit it. Ava distributed bound documents. Tab 1. Board minutes, Victor's admissions. Tab 2. Trust amendment plus Fitzgerald affidavit on incapacity. Tab 3. Money flow chart, Trust Foundation Evergreen Langford Land Improvements. Sandra. Does your company deny benefiting? Community benefit. Not denial. Margaret. No board vote in 6 years of minutes. Photos of shove sequence. Police report pending. Sandra served default notice. $18.7 million loans. 72 hours to cure. Foundation counsel advised immediate suspension of Victor pending investigation. Board voted unanimously. Victor snarled. Fight draining. Ava. Filing for trustee removal. Full accounting. Court appoints independent administrator. Victor lunged briefly. Lawyers restrained. I blew out candle. That's for mom. The woman you robbed while dying. Room chaos. I walked out. Ava beside. Hallway staff slow clapped. Then full applause as elevator closed. Feel good? Ava asked. Feels right. Sometimes enough. Morning news. Prominent developer Harold Slate faces multiple investigations. Wait. Victor Langford. Ledger above fold. Photo of meeting chaos. Ava emailed. Emergency motion granted. Trustee frozen out. Neutral administrator pursuing recovery. AG to grand jury. Wire fraud. Fiduciary breach. Money laundering. Serious time. Patricia. All staff meeting live streamed. Victor Ty askew. Smile cracked. Temporary setback. Off-camera question. Stole from dead wife's trust? Purple face. Meeting over, but stream continued. Employees grilled about jobs. Futures. Emperor naked. Marcus. You destroyed him. 40 years reputation. Gone. Hollow. House seized. Cars. Mom's things retrievable via administrator. Ever consider letting go?
No.
Never. Thought of mom final days. Victor's shove. $2.3 million label. Margaret Winslow visited with wine. Envelope. Peace offering. Board ousted Victor permanently. Restructuring to real charity. Invited me to board. Help rebuild what your mother wanted. Photo inside. Mom at art therapy event. Genuine smile despite chemo. Surrounded by helped people. I'll think about it. Sat with photo. Real healing. Not construction crews. Sandra Chin. Couldn't cure default. Full $18.7 million called. Bridal path withdrew. More lenders followed. Riverton Landing bankruptcy. Assets auctioned. Community center land revert city for actual community use. You did good work. Clean documentation. Wish all whistleblowers this thorough. Evening. Riverside Cemetery. Simple headstone. Beloved mother. Cherished friend. White candle. No labels. Pure light. He can't hurt anyone else with your money. It's over. Wind made flame dance but held. Mom's legacy. Stand up.
Document. Protect.
Unknown number text. Foundation conference room photo. Placard where Victor sat. This seat reserved for ethical leadership only. Smiled. Blew out candle. Headed home. Victor finished. Loans called. Reputation shattered. Charges pending. Pushed off pedestal by truth. Paperwork. At Mom's funeral he'd said, family supports family.
Right.
Supported Mom's true family, her memory. Legitimate beneficiaries. Rest arithmetic. Good with numbers. The ripples became waves. Foundation website down for maintenance. Langford Properties issued terse statement, reviewing financial relationships for transparency. 3 more board members questioned practices. Criminal exposure loomed. Fitzgerald's testimony cracked the amendment wide open. Post-death distributions fraudulent. Recovery actions accelerated. I drove past the half-built Riverton Landing site one afternoon. Cranes idle. Signs of bankruptcy. Community center plot quiet. Soon city managed properly. Justices slow machinery grinding. Ava updated regularly. Full accounting underway. Misappropriated funds traced. Potential clawbacks. Victor's assets frozen in multiple jurisdictions. Marcus stopped calling after one final plea. Dad's broken.
Just.
Family. Family protected what mattered. Quiet evenings brought reflection. The invisible dinner table lines. Constant reminders of gratitude for roof overhead. Blueprints overshadowing grief. Mom's shaky signature practiced during chemo for you. Compliance career choice made sense now. Watching things not add up at home drove me to ensure they did elsewhere. The bruise on my shoulder healed. Physical mark gone. But memory anchored resolve. Shove in front of elite crowd, desperation revealing how much he feared exposure. Allies stayed connected. Nora sent occasional updates on foundation reforms. Patricia shared relief at shredded files now public evidence. James Riverton thanked for land returning to intent. One final gala echo. Anonymous donor lit candle in Sophia Harper's name at next event. No dollar figure. Pure memorial. I accepted Margaret's board invitation eventually. Not for power. For oversight. Ensuring donor intent honored. Real healing programs funded properly. Art therapy recipients Mom envisioned. Sitting in that same conference room months later, candle at center during ethics discussion. Felt full circle. Victor's seat empty. Ethical leadership placard prominent. Outside world moved on. Joggers. Dog walkers. Families in Brookfield parks. Ordinary lives untouched by stolen fortunes. Yet questions linger. How many similar schemes hide behind glossy galas? Tax write-offs. Family trusts? How often vulnerable widows manipulated? How deep greed corrupts philanthropy? My story isn't unique. But standing up, gathering receipts, building allies, wielding truth like scalpel, shifted balance. Mom's real legacy wasn't the money. It was example. Protect future. Document everything. Never depend blindly. Stand against invisible lines dividing family. Final evening. Cemetery again. Candle lit. Flame steady despite wind. Thank you,
Mom. For believing in me.
for the trust, literal and emotional. Justice served. Your light indoors. Blew it out gently. Smoke curled upward. Walked home lighter. Empire of lies collapsed under weight of evidence. Man who shoved me aside pushed from pedestal permanently. Arithmetic simple, truth plus persistence equals accountability. And sometimes, that's the most powerful healing of all.